Hello lads. So today we're going to have a look at an area of complex numbers. This really is the last little bit we're going to do together. Okay, so you can look back over all the other videos and have a look at all the other examples. So first of all, what I'm going to do is, before I draw on the Argand diagram, I'm just going to do a little bit of maths here. Okay, so I'm going to take a number, Z1, okay, and Z1 is equal to 3 plus 2i. Okay, nothing unusual about that. Now, I'm going to go, what's 2 times Z1? So at this stage, you should all be able to do that. Well, it's just 2 times 3 plus 2i, which is 6 plus 4i. So that's 2 times Z1. Okay, so nothing too crazy about that. Okay, so when you multiply a complex number by a real number, what are you really doing? It's increasing by that factor, wouldn't you say? Okay, and listen, if I do 3 times Z1, that's 3 times 3 plus 2i, that's 9 plus 6i. So what I want to show you is, well, what do they look like when you actually draw them? So I'm going to use a different color here just to kind of put it into perspective. So 3 plus 2i, let's get Z1 up. Okay, so Z1 is 3 plus 2i. So there's Z1. Let's get Z2 up. 2 times Z1. Okay, 2 times Z1 is 6 plus 4i. There's 6 and there's 4i. So there's 2 times Z1. Okay, and now 3 times Z1 is 9 plus 6i. There's 9 plus 6i. There. So it's 3 times Z1. Now, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I can definitely see something happening. Okay, and what I can see happening is that they're actually in a line. Not only in a line, but in a line that lines up with the origin. Now, that's not done on purpose. That's really what it's meant to be. So all you're doing is pushing it further away from the original. And if I multiplied it by a half, it would still be on that line. Okay? So the same thing would happen with any other point that I picked. If I picked the point here, if I did 2 plus 2i, and I multiplied it by 2, what would I get? 4 plus 4i. And you can see it's going to create a straight line the whole way up. And then you get, multiplied by 3, you get 6 plus 6i, 8 plus 8i. It'll go right up in a straight line, right back to the origin. So that's what happens when you multiply it by a real number. All it does is it pushes the z in a straight line away from where it is. So it's a cool thing to kind of know. Okay. Now, what happens when you add complex numbers? Okay. So let's add some. Right. Let's add Z1. 2 plus 3i. And I'm going to add Z2, which is 4 plus 2i. Let's add the two of them. 6 plus 7i. Okay, now, so that's Z1 plus Z2. Let's see what they look like and then see what their addition looks like as points. Okay, so Z1 is 2 plus 3i. 2 plus 3i. Z2 is 4 plus 2i. 4 plus 2i. So that's them there now. The other one, 6 plus 7i. 6 plus 7i is up here. So it is bigger, we know that, okay? But, and this is the kind of cool thing about it, okay? It's somewhere, okay? Just bear with me. This one's gone off in that direction forever. Sorry, that's not coming up quite well. I'll draw it here. Look. That one's gone off in that direction forever. This one's gone off in this direction forever if you draw lines back. And this one is always in between them. It's got a bit of both of them, and obviously it's further away. Okay, so that's when you do when you add them together. Now, the coolest thing happens when you multiply them by I. So I'm going to show you that on another sheet of paper. Bear with me. This is the one that I think is most likely to come up in any given exam. It's just that type of question. Okay, so draw it. So draw it here. So watch. 2, 4, 6. Minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. 2i, 4i, minus 2i, minus 4i. Okay, so this is so cool. I really love this. Okay, so I'm going to pick a point, Z1. I'm going to call it 4 plus I. Okay, so I'm going to plot it. 4 plus I is there. So there's Z1. Right? Everyone's with me on that one. Okay. Now watch what happens when I multiply I by Z1. That's going to be 4I. And then I squared is minus 1. So that's minus 1 plus 4I. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, so what? So what? Okay. Watch this and be amazed. I draw that back. It's a right angle. Watch happens. Watch. This is where you are going to be completely amazed. Let's multiply this one by I. Okay, so watch. Instead of I times Z1, we'll do whatever this is times I. So multiplying it by I again. What's that going to give you? Minus 4 minus I. Okay? Where's the minus 4 coming from? 4 is just a 4. I squared is minus 1, so that's a minus 4, and you still have the I. Where's minus 4 minus I? Somewhere around there. Okay? Which, would you believe, is 90 degrees that way? And give a guess what happens if I multiply that by I again. Yes, you are right. It will go down. I could even predict where it's going to go. It's going to go down this way. It's going to go down here. Minus 4 plus 1. So it'll rotate around by 90 degrees every time you multiply it by a new I. Okay? So basically, if you multiply any Z value you have by I, it'll go 90 degrees. If you multiply any Z by I squared, that's I by I, it'll go 180 degrees. Multiply any Z by I cubed, 270. Any Z by I to the power of 4, it basically stays where it is. Okay, so this is a ridiculously cool thing to be able to actually prove. That when you multiply something by I, it actually moves it a full 90-degree turn to the left or to the right. Okay, this does come up quite regularly. Okay, and being able to predict it and show it is a quite cool little skill to have. So I'm going to show you one or two little questions on this, if you bear with me. Okay, so we have an Argand diagram here drawn for you. You can see it there. I'm going to zoom it up so everyone can see it. So there you have it. little Argand diagram. So we have Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, and Z5 all written. Now, they want you to first of all figure out what Z1 and Z2 are. Okay, well, Z1 goes out 4, so that's 4. So Z1 is 4 and goes up to 3i. Now, there's marks for doing that, so you should all be able to do it. Z2, what's that? It goes out to -3 and up to 4i. Okay, so that's done. You got full marks. Now, can you show that Z2, this one, is I times this one? Well, let's show it. What Z1 is that times I. Okay, Z1 times I. So that's going to be I times 4 plus 3i. That's 4 times I is 4i. I squared is -1. Yes, it is. So you've shown it. Okay, which, now, just before we do that, let's just show that what we've done there. Remember, if I draw a line between there and there, and draw a line between there and there, what angle am I going to get? 90 degrees. So the question is, which of these three would be Z1 by I squared? In other words, by I gives you 90, by I squared gives you 180. Which of these will give you the I squared? Yes, you're right. It's this one here, because that's 180 the whole way. So it's actually Z5 will give you, Z5 is the same as I squared by Z1. In other words, it's Z1 turned through 180 degrees. Okay? So that's the idea of these questions if they come up. You might be asked to read off a couple and then prove that this is this and which of the possibilities could it be. Okay? So if you can remember that, you'll be doing quite well. Okay? So that's the last bit of the complex numbers. And that's the whole chapter, basically. There's nothing else to kind of go over. All you can do really now is just go over your revision. You know, you will get your test tomorrow, and then after the midterm, we will move on to the last section we have. So best of luck, lads.